Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another episode of Not a Linux Guru Guy channel. Today we're going to be looking at Debian, and I'm going to tell you a few other things. Like one, I got a new computer. Yay. There you go. I got a new computer, and I'll tell you more about that as I go along today, but yeah. That's why I have my desk laptop over here that I was in the living room where the new computer now is at. It's family computer. I'll tell you more about that on the other side of the intro. Alrighty, now I'm going to tell you a couple of new things so you can be aware of what's going on. But aside from the new computer I got, which is a Dell Omniplex, a smaller desktop type computer, so I'll put it in my living room where the family can use it. And it's connected to our TV, which is a big screen TV, so I got a big screen to go like that on. And yeah, so I'm excited about that, and I'll tell you more about that in a future episode where I talk about Sparky Linux, because that's what I installed on it for the fam to use. Yep. So in that released my desktop, my laptop over here that I installed Debian on. Yay! Remember the last time when I had problems installing Debian on a laptop? On my laptop, my main work laptop, I was going to install Debian on, and I couldn't because I had problems with the cinnamon desktop version of Debian. And what I found out was I used the wrong Debian. And if I'd used the Debian that I vaguely remembered using one other time before, I would have come out okay on it. But anyway, I'll go through that with you here in a minute. So let's focus on Debian for a while, alright? Now Debian installer is different, so I'm going to show you that, and I'm going to show you what Debian looks like. What the process is. It's really not that hard to go through when you boil it down. You can do it pretty simple install of it. It's not that hard, actually. There's only one little quirky thing about it that you need to fix. Once you get it done, I'll show you what that is on the other side too. Alright, let's start with the screenshot of the web browser. This is what you get when you go to debian.org, where you get Debian at. It's a universal operating system. Yay. Now you go over to getting Debian. What you want is a small installation image. If you have internet connection. If you don't, you want to download one of these larger installation images that contains more packages, making it easier to install machines without an internet connection. Pretty simple. So this one I installed on I downloaded this 64-bit PC net installed version of Debian. It's pretty small. It's like 300 and some megs download. Compared to the 2 gig downloads a lot of them are. That's pretty cheap on the memory. Easy to make a memory stick out of it, put a USB in your computer, boot up on it, and away you go. We're going to install on a virtual machine. Already downloaded it, so we don't have to look at that at. And here we are at the Debian installer menu. We got graphical install, the regular install, advanced options, the accessible dark contrast. We're just going to go with the graphical install so you can see what a simple mode is installing Debian on this internet. Now it's internet version, so it takes a longer for it to run than your typical installer, but it works. That's a good thing to know about it. In English, yes. continue in English. United States, yep, that's where I'm at. Colorado specifically. American English, yep. Let's guess that right. Continue on. It is now detecting loading components from CD, blah blah blah. All that stuff. Net bootloader. Now part of this loads things in parts. So this will be kind of a little bit segmented, I think, as it works to set up Debian on the system. Now it's detecting it. It's got a few more things for it to work on. Right now it's activating auto configuration of IVP network, DHCP. Okay, now what's Debian? What's the host name it wants to know? Debian is a good one. Debian is just whatever you want to be known on your home network as to identify this machine. Debian's fine with me. Continue. The name, you can skip this part, or you said just workgroups. Type right. Workgroups. Whatever other workgroup you might be using on all your computers. And now you type in your password. This is a root password. Understand. Linux query guy. Entering in non-Linux query guy. Continue. Now user account been created for me. Right. Just say Rick here. That's full name for me, huh? Rick's fine, yep. Now you can choose a password for your user, which in my case, let's go guy. Now, the pass. My time zone is Mountain. Detecting the disk, partitioning disk. Okay, now here's the part that confuses most people, because a lot of people, especially newbies, don't know how to use gparted or anything like that to configure their disk, which is probably what I do if you went to manual. You use entire disk and set up LVNP, or you just use entire disk, or use entire disk set up encrypted LVNP. Anyway, you can just use the guided use entire disk. Let's see what it says. Yep, that's the hard disk we're going to use. If you have other disks on your regular computer, you want to make sure you select the actual hard disk of your thing. You usually tell by the size of it what hard disk you're looking at. It's usually fairly obvious, usually SDA, but sometimes it could be different. So just double check that when you install. Now, it gets this. And all files, one partition recommended for new users. Or you can have a separate home partition, or you can set up separate home bar and temp partitions. Yeah, I just recommend using the all new users. That's what we're going to do here. We're going to click on through. And it tells you what you're going to be doing here. It's going to set up one logical primary swap partition. Swap partitions is where it swaps out memory. Like your RAM, if your RAM fills up, then it starts putting memory spaces on your hard disk. called a swap file anyway. Anyway, so you just click on through, say finish partitioning, write changes to disk, and away it goes. So, okay, this is just a thing where you gotta say yes, you want to do this, because when you click yes on this, it'll erase everything else on your hard disk. Make sure you backed up all your. If you have anything on there you want to save, make sure you backed it up before you do this function, or otherwise, it's gone. But okay, now it's going to do install base system, all this kind of stuff. We'll get back to it when it's done. Okay, now the next option says your installation has been scanned. That was Buster Official. Okay, yeah, just skip the step. You don't have any other DVD to scan, no. Okay, now it's back to configure the package manager. The goal is to find a mirror Debian archive as close to you as on the network. So United States is what it is, yep. And Debian, or you always change these later if you need to, but Debian work. Don't need a proxy, so I just skip that. Proxy is like if you don't know what it is, you don't need it probably. It's just your own personal laptop. It's usually something for businesses, set up firewalls and stuff like that. You know, it's retrieving. Now, one thing I do have to tell you about this is because it is internet access, and they didn't get to this because it's just using the virtual files internet access to my host laptop. Because it is internet access, you need to have internet access, obviously, to use it. So either you plug it in with your ether cable, you plug it with the ether cable into your router, or you plug it in, you set Wi-Fi on it. Now it has a Wi-Fi set, but it didn't go through because it didn't need to on this part. But it does set Wi-Fi at the very beginning. Gives you the option to do that. The only problem I had when I installed my laptop over here is that I tried to install it and it didn't give me the option to install on my main didn't give me the option to put it on my normal network, Global FAN, which is my normal network. So therefore I had to put it on, but it did give me the option to put on the Xfinity hotspot. So I used that for the first part install. Got the part way through the install, and then it ran out of juice or something on the Xfinity. I don't know what happened, but anyway, it ran out on that, so I had to go back to the installation of the CD. You go back to installation of the go back to setup of your home network, and then I was able to see a couple fam on there, and I was able to link it up with my internet connection here at home instead of the hotspot. So then it worked fine from there on out. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, it does give you the option to set up your Wi-Fi and on your network, and one of the first things it actually does is when you start the installation process on it. So yeah. Anyway, this one, no, we don't need to do that. So just click continue. And now it's going to select install software. Now here's the cool thing is, I say I want cinnamon, or I want mate, or I want LXD or LQT. It's got all these different XFace, GNOME. Then it'll automatically default install for you. So you don't need to worry. You need to install SSH server on there if you want to. Standard system utilities, all that good stuff. So you click continue. We're going to install Cinnamon since I just want to see what that looks like in here. And then it continues on with the installation, which we'll get back to you in a minute. Alright, we're back after that long wait of installing all the internet applications. Had to download everything from the internet all that time, install it, and once to install the grub bootloader to the master boot record of your first hard drive, which is okay in this case, but it might not be as if you are installing it on okay. Yeah, so we installed it on this device. It's our hard drive. So install it on there. And then run update grub and setting things up. Now time to boot into your new system. Yahoo! Finally, huh? Yeah, it took a little while for all that to happen. Well, it didn't for you because you cut it down on you. Yeah. So let us continue. Let's see what our new system looks like. It's going to reboot. And yes, we'll install it. We'll load that Debian. And it's going through all that standard stuff, startup routines. Yeah. So here's Debian Cinnamon Desktop on it. Looks like pretty standard Cinnamon Desktop. Preferences. Yep, system options. But yeah, out of the box it'll pretty much work. You got Firefox. Yeah, the Thunderbird for your email. Of course, you can install anything else on here you want, of course. So you got several graphics: Inkscape, Shotwell, Simple Scan, GNU. Yeah. Games, several games you can try. Education, accessories. Yeah, now what you have to do is, you can probably, okay, we'll do this then. There you go, UX term. Now, what I want to show you is if you try to do sudo add user, it's going to tell you can't find, oh, wrong password. I'm not even in the sudo file apparently. So I want to add, so you know it's there. You just can't access it because the pass statement does not contain user sbin on it. But you kind of need it to. So let's do this for the time being so we can get myself in sudo group and switch back to my user real quick. So remember what I'm going to do here. Oh yeah. So we're going to go user sbin and user rec sudo. It added me to sudo group. Yay. So should be in the next step, should be in the sudo. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add my myself the path statement. Here's how you do it. The easiest way I found to do this is just simply edit. Now you can use a graphical editor if you want to, but I choose for Nano. And you want to use your bash rc file. So you go down to the bottom of this file, and you can set a new path variable here by putting export. Path. Path. You want to type user. Sbin. Just like that. Now I tend to also put a bin for my personal home directory added in usually. So I'd also add in home bin. Then you save this. And then next time you go into there, next time you go into your terminal. The reason a lot of these things aren't set up yet is because this requires you setting up your own so your terminal. Now if you type in sudo add user, let's just say we're going to add user couple. Oops, I did it again. Okay, apparently I still gotta do nano. I just need to go back to nano, etc. and sudo. And do it right apparently. Oh, I started it wrong. And go back. Let's see. There you go. Now I have to go down here. Sudo's there. Yeah, see, this line needs to be uncommented, and this just like it is for it to register. The other option is to add myself in as a user, Rick, with the same configuration that would work. Do that just so. Rick. Yeah, you see all the things you're not supposed to do when you do this stuff. Probably need to X out anyway. Now when you go back into it, let's see if this works this time. Yeah, see, there it works. Yay. So if I add type in password, type it in, read me couple, and then I have another user there. It's that simple. So that's what you need to do in order to use any activity, any program installed. You see there's a lot of them in the sbin section user group, so that you don't have to put in all the path to it exactly. Automatically go in. I don't know why Debian doesn't include the sbin in their directory, but they don't for some reason. So you have to add it yourself. That's the best way, easiest way I found to do it. Every other way I tried didn't work very well, so yeah. Anyway, this is Debian. And we'll go back and figure out what to do. Anyway, we'll head back and talk about this more. Yeah, there we are. So that was Debian, and what can you say? It's vanilla Debian. It's a plain Jane. You comes somewhat bare bones, and that you have to put all your shortcut keys and all that kind of stuff in there. There's not much that's pre-programmed in there for working for that, so just work it, you know. But a lot of people like that kind of thing. They want to know that some things start out with, and it gives you basic things like LibreOffice and Firefox and Thunderbird pre-installed on there. I'll install on the internet, off the internet version. Cinnamon desktop, or you can select any of the other desktops that I had listed there. So that's Debian. We'll leave it at that. Until next time, may all your computers run Linux.